Well, hello everyone. Hello. What you're hearing right now is a test of a setup that I think I talked about, but I don't recall ever actually doing. Anyway, I've got grids running and channels 1, 2, 3, and reset are triggering the 4 envelopes of the A143-1. Now the outputs of 1, 2, and 3 are going into the exponential VCAs of the A132-8 Octal Poly, and I'm using the dual parallel VCO. I'm using the PLL, and I'm using the Lifeforms as those 3 voices, and then also the Drogatronic M669, which you can hear buzzing like a hornet in the foreground. That's coming in on channel 4, which is receiving exponential CV, right, from vector space. Vector space is receiving 3 CVs from the 8-bit cipher. Cipher is being clocked, of course, from grids through the QCD. The data input is the comparator output of the PLL. I'm using the oscillator output as audio, and the other comparator input is the sine wave from the Lifeforms. And one of the CV outputs of the cipher is modulating the pitch of the Lifeform oscillator, and the other 3 CVs are going into vector space, where they are combined and added and subtracted, and that mysterious math is done to them, and I get a bunch of outputs. Some of those outputs are controlling the linear VCA of those first 3 channels in the octal poly in order to give me dynamics. Let's see, the accent out of grids is triggering function, which is going into the sag input of the chaos NAND, and that's going into the audio input of the Drogatronic, just in order to give it a kind of a rhythmical pulse. Anyway, what you're listening to is the sum out of all of that coming out of the Octal Poly VCA and going into the Pico DSP and then into mixology. Now I've also got channel 4 down here, which is being triggered by grid's reset, is going into the filter CV on the FolkTek Conduit. One of the vector space outputs is going into the time CV, which in this particular case is controlling the pitch of the harmonic oscillators. The output from conduit is going into microburst, and microburst stereo out into mixology. Sounds like this. Mute the percussion so we can listen to. Wow. That's just conduit and the microburst. not really any modulation happening except pitch and filter. I'm not doing anything to microburst. It's just sitting there doing its stereo granular delay. That is great. It sounds huge. This surprised me. Anyway. Yeah, I just sat down at the console to test out a concept. Like I said, something I had thought of but hadn't really tried. And I think I need another one of this type of thing. The SPO, it's attenuation and offset. And you need that in order to get a bipolar signal and offset it and attenuate it to get it into the voltage range that you want to appropriately control the volume of a VCA, which only responds to positive voltage. If you don't want it to be silent half the time or most of the time, then you have to apply an offset to the CV. And you know, I've heard people say that you can never have too many VCAs. Well, I think what you can't have too many of is this offset and attenuation. I need more of that to make this system do the tricks that I'm thinking of making it do. Anyway, I have rambled on for long enough. I want to thank my patrons who paid for most of this stuff, and I want to thank you guys for watching it all the way to the end. You're awesome. And that's about it. I'll see you guys next time.